Okay, mate. Ready to go when you are?
So basically, this is my family project idea. Like it. So basically, my idea is like it again, doing a documentary about my mate and how successful of what he's done. Basically, I met him in summer last year through a mate, and he only hit 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, and now he's sitting on 700. And his paycheck's not bad for a 19-year-old. Well, it's insane for a 19-year-old. So basically, I want to do a documentary on how he's changed his life, and basically how hard it is to do what he does, because he uploads daily. So every single day at a set time, and how it's hard to get the content. So it's pretty much a behind the scenes, but with a voiceover. So basically, this next slide is my inspiration. Yeah. So yeah.
Hello there, Jack here. So as you may or may not know, we recently partnered with Skype in order to tell 3 stories. We spent the last couple of months travelling around, meeting interesting individuals and capturing their lives, and today I'm super excited and slightly nervous and a little bit proud to be presenting to you the first part of that instalment. This is Following Heart featuring Danielle Tirano.
My name is Danielle Tirano. I live here in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm a violinist and violin teacher here in New York City. I've been living in New York for about 4 years. It's just that drive that you come here with that pushes you to the limits of who you are and to those greater boundaries, extremities also. The music scene in New York is amazing. It's dynamic, it's diverse, it's culturally fascinating. Whenever I start playing, all of the sounds of the trains, of the people, of the breaks, they drift away, and I just hear the music. It helps me exclude all of those other thoughts. The rest of the day, everything goes away. I was always drawn to sharing my love of music, and that sharing my love of music led me down the path to teaching it. I teach very young children, starting at the age of 3, all the way up through teenagers and very elderly people as well. The level of detail and care that you have to take in music is the same care and understanding that it takes to be a great doctor, a great lawyer, a great anything. And I want to nurture and foster that understanding of detail and its importance to very young children. I love teaching in a school, but after Hurricane Sandy hit New York City, all of the trains were underwater, and I still wanted to teach my students. So I contacted the students and said, let's try Skype today. I realized at that moment that I could not only teach students who were right in front of me, but then students in California, and the ultimate is to teach and reach students all over the world. Please help me. Can you show me a bowl hold really close up? Ready? So can you move your ring finger just up a little bit more so that it's curved? I have a few students that I teach through Skype, and one of them is Adam, who lives in Orange County, California. And whenever I get to teach him, it's even a treat for me, because when the sun is down on the East Coast, it's still up in the West, and it's great to see the sun shining. I do have a dream. Everyone has a dream. One of my dreams is to see a student of mine go on to bigger stages and better things than I myself accomplished. I would know that at that moment I gave them everything that I knew, that I shared with them everything that I had, and that now they're prepared to go on. Sinatra says, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And that fear of not making it and returning to where you came keeps you working harder and faster than you ever have before. Sometimes there are days I just want to go out into the woods and not deal with the construction and the trucks and the subway and people. But then I take a deep breath and I say that I'm here for a reason. I need to embrace it.
Okay, thanks Vinny. So, next slide.
Yep. Right, so basically, what my finished film kind of looked like was like basically a voiceover of him, like that clip that you saw, like basically like visual wise, like a life as gamer, because I'll be going to his, I don't know when, we've roughly got a date, which I think is going to be next slide, and the behind the scenes kind of thing, so
Okay.
you can move on to the next slide. So basically location wise, it's going to be Amsterdam, where he lives. He's moving into his new place with a friend of his in 3 weeks, so it'd be nice to shoot him because he's living with his mum right now. It'd be nice to see how he copes without his mum, and like how much like his schedule on that, because he'll have to cook, he'll have to wash up and all of that, and also I'll be going to an event called R54, which he's going to, which is in Coventry, and basically it's just like a really big event, gaming event, and there'll be like a lot of like big content creators, well, gaming content creators, and fans there, so it'd be nice to shoot him meeting some fans, and you know, it would be something different instead of him sitting in front of a computer all day and in his house, because he doesn't really go out much because his job's full time. So, and also I was thinking of the idea of like maybe asking his fans what they think of him and stuff like that. But yeah, I have to progress my idea more. You can move on to the next slide. So basically, filming dates are Wednesday 18th to 23rd of March. That's when I'll be going to Amsterdam. So pretty much a week of shooting. I haven't came up with shot lists or anything yet, so I only spoke to him yesterday, but he said I could come over whenever I want. So I looked at flight dates and how much they were going to be, and this was 63 quid. So and Friday the 6th of April is going to be the event. So we've got like 3 days.
Okay, I'm gonna have to hurry you a little bit, Vinny. Just time's ticking on.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you can move on to the next slide.
Okay.
So, I've got planned quite a lot, like the questions and the equipment that I'm going to use, and the shots, and maybe a soundtrack I might use for the video. So, yeah, from now on March or earlier, I've got a lot of planning to do before I go out, because I can't just go there and think of ideas there, because I've got a week to shoot it, and if I don't get what I want then it would just be a waste of time and money. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. So in terms of budget, have you got an idea of how much it's going to cost you, or where you're going to get the budget from?
Work by working.
Okay.
So yeah.
And another critical one, who are you making this for? Who's your audience?
Who am I making it for? It's kind of for him as well, and basically for like
Who's going to watch it?
Can I just,
yeah, go on.
the film we saw, The Violinist in New York,
Yeah,
is that a reference? That's like an example of
Yeah,
the
that's
kind of style?
yeah.
That has nothing to do with
That's
this
nothing
guy.
to do with
Okay.
what.
So this guy, this new friend of yours, he's got a YouTube channel, and he's a gamer, and he reviews games, and is he a little bit like this, what's his name, PDY or whatever, is it a bit like that? Reviewing games? Is he?
No,
I saw the word gamer there.
He plays games.
He plays games, and is that all he does? He plays games and makes videos about them,
Basically.
and shows people how to win the games and things like
No,
that.
he just,
He just
plays
plays
the game.
So he doesn't even review the
No,
games.
nothing.
He
So
just sits all day and plays
Yeah.
computer games and then puts videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
And you're going to make a film about him doing that.
yeah.
Does he do anything else in his life?
I don't know.
So what makes him so popular? How many? He's got 700,000
Yeah,
fans,
yeah,
and he's got an income from YouTube now
yeah.
through advertising
No,
and his subscription. So he's making. How much is he making a month from YouTube?
60k.
60,000
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. From just playing computer games on YouTube. Okay, I'm in the wrong job. I think it's a really interesting idea.
Yeah,
It's how you make that an interesting. It's an interesting lifestyle that he's got.
Yeah.
I think. Certainly the income. It's how you make that interesting as a film, because clearly he doesn't do an awful great deal.
no.
So I think planning, in terms of your planning, and and really getting into who he is, and
Yeah.
how he started, and where the idea came from, and how, I think you're going to have to go right back to, as a young guy, what is it,
Yeah.
19?
19, yeah. I think
And I
he's
want to go back to when he started playing games.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of it will rely on what he has to say.
Yeah.
Like the girl in the violin, it's all, there's a lot of impressionistic shots of her doing things. I don't think there's a single shot in that film where she actually speaks to the camera.
yeah.
Which is really nice.
I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I don't know if I'm going to sit him down and record him talking to the camera as well. I don't know yet.
You can always split the sound off as long as you've got clean sound. I would film everything.
Yeah,
So don't just record sound and not picture. Record him on camera, because you can always split the sound off as a separate soundtrack. and then but just shoot as much as you can.
Yeah.
But it's making it interesting. I would suggest that the audience is 700,000, and I'm surprised you haven't thought about that,
Yeah.
because you have 700,000 people there already. That's your audience.
Yeah.
Who are really interested in
Yeah.
what he's doing and what you're making.
You've got a ready-made audience there. 700,000 people.
So if you make a good film, Vinny,
Yeah.
then you're potentially gonna have a much easier job than a lot of other people in connecting with lots and lots and lots of people. So you've got a potentially interesting topic, potentially interesting character. The critical thing is, how are you going to make that visually interesting, engaging? Because to me, I get bored quite quickly, and I guess seeing him in his bedroom, that's not enough to sustain me. So that's a critical thing for you to take away, I think.
Yeah. The execution of the film, how you put it, how you make it, how you shoot it, how you cut it together. Because what he does is actually quite, it's static and it's boring.
Yeah.
You know, apart from the fact that he does this, he plays games all day and gets paid, basically gets paid for it, which is interesting. But apart from that, there's nothing really visual or filmic about that. So you're really going to have to think through your execution
Yeah.
of the film.
Okay.
How are you going to approach it, and how are you going to make it interesting to watch?
So having spoken to him, is he an interesting, engaging person? If you kind of remove yourself from your interest in YouTube and games and things, just as a character, as a person, do you think does he speak well? Is he engaging? Do you feel drawn to him as a
Yeah.
character?
Yeah. He's pretty funny guy to be around.
Does he feature in his YouTube? How does he interact in his videos that he puts on his channel? Does he talk? Do you see him?
Yeah. He like face cam and talks and shouts and everything.
So he's a presenter
Yeah.
in a way, yeah.
But he collabs with other people, so there's other people in the video as well that you can hear.
Cool. This is a whole other world that I do not know about.
It's astonishing. It's astonishing how much money you can make from. This is why I'm interested. But the thing is, if he isn't interested, unfortunately, you're going to be really struggling.
Yeah.
So you need to try and speak to him at least 3 or 4 times a week. Maybe go on Skype and just delve a bit deeper. Ask him questions. Get him talking about stuff. Find out more about him. And, forget the game sort. Find out about him, because you can't just make your film just about this guy who plays games all day. You want who is this person?
Yeah. Okay.
Because your film is not about a guy who plays games all day and makes money from it. That's just the surface. What's below that? What makes him interesting? Why is he being successful? What is it about what he does that gets 700,000? Yeah, it's got to be more than just a look at him. It's got to be how did he do it?
Yeah.
What's his personality like? How did he start? What's his background? Why do so many people subscribe to his channel?
Human beings watch films about human beings because human beings are interested in human beings on the whole. So you've got to delve into the connection between us and him.
And get him talking. This is my final step. Get him talking before your dates. You haven't got long. And as you're talking, you need to be scribbling down. He might just say one little thing that's sort of just random, and you'll go, "Oh, that's interesting." He probably, and you write it down, and then quiz him about it when you get him on camera.
Okay.
Find out what he does when he's not sitting playing games as well. So, you need to get him out, and if you're in Amsterdam, you need to get out there and find a place away from his console where you can speak to him and get some shots. Hanging out with his friends, or drinking Dutch beer or something like that.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay,
Alright,
nice
thank you,
one.
Willie. Nice one. Thanks very much.